Let's talk about the forecast, which is much different than it was this time about a year or so ago as we started to track Helene. Monroe, Lake Norman, Charlotte, Dallas looking fantastic. No weather-related issues out there tonight. I know we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but the drought monitor has begun to expand just a hair. It's worse for areas Charlotte and South, including our mountain communities, Ashwaubenon, Avery County, Greater Caldwell, and Burke, as well as over toward the eastern side of the Carolinas. And I know you might be thinking back to August and how wet it was in the start of August, but remember, we don't need one really wet start to a month and then we're dry for months, right? We want trickles of tiny little chances for rain mixed in here and there. It doesn't look like we're going to see that for the weekend. I've actually dropped our rain chances below 20% just because there's so little tomorrow. But just know if you have been needing some rain, maybe your lawns are looking to be a little bit brown, and truthfully, even if they aren't, we still need the rain. So we will start to see an increase in moisture. Of course, I showed you that in the dew point there at the beginning of the show, which also means a better chance for rain by the end of next week. So if you have outdoor plans, I would definitely try to get them done this weekend if possible. Lots of clear sky conditions expected with a few more clouds mixing in by Sunday. But again, there's a very limited potential for rain, mainly south of Charlotte and up in the mountains. Again, it's a blink and you miss it situation. It's such a low chance that it's not even worth putting out on the 7-day. Again, we're dry on Sunday with a few more clouds. Temperatures will be pretty toasty on a Saturday, but we are going to be a little bit, and again, a little bit cooler, but I mean, still warmer than average on Sunday. But overall, a pretty nice weekend. Mostly sunny again tomorrow. We'll likely see 90 degrees for the second day in a row, but hopefully got my fingers and all toes crossed that it's the last 90s that we see, because again, personal opinion, I know a lot of people like summer and I do too, but kind of over it, ready for fall, ready for drier air to stick around for quite some time. Of course, Sunday is the Panthers home opener, and while it is not going to be as hot as it was back in 2019, certainly not as cool as it could have been about a decade or so ago. Last time we were at 69, which is the coolest, was back in 2014. I mean, mid 80s and dry isn't too bad, so I think we'll take it. As we look ahead to your Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast, temperatures are going to stay pretty warm for the first half of the week. You can see those mid to upper 80s as the autumnal equinox happens Monday afternoon. So yes, maybe not necessarily feeling like autumn as we see that official astronomical season change, but we eventually again do bring back in better chances for rain by the end of next week, and you can very clearly see those higher rain chances beginning to mix in, and that does look like it'll start a pattern of some slightly cooler air.